The afternoon sun shone bright through the tall windows of the big house. The sounds from the city below were getting quieter as the day moved on. Adrian Marlowe was a rich man who many people looked up to because of his successful business. He walked through the shiny wooden doors of his home, wanting to surprise his family. He thought he might find his wife reading in the garden, or maybe his little daughter playing with her colored pencils in the sunny room. But what he saw next would hurt his heart forever. Before we go on with this sad but hopeful story, if you believe in being kind, forgiving others, and giving people second chances, please like this video, share it with your friends, and follow Kindness Corner. Together, we can keep sharing stories that show us the good things that still happen in our world. Adrian's daughter, Clara, was only 6 years old. Her hair was bright like sunshine, and her eyes were so clear they showed how pure and innocent she was. After her mother died years ago, she became everything to him. She was the reason he could smile after long, hard days at work. When Adrian got married again, he hoped Clara would have a mother figure to care for her once more. For many months, he told himself that his new wife, Celine, loved the child. But right then, standing still in the hallway, he watched Celine lift her foot and kick Clara, making one of her walking sticks fall down. Clara almost fell, her small body shaking as she tried to stay standing. It was terrible to watch. His sweet little girl, who already had trouble walking because her legs were weak from birth, was being hurt in the very home that should keep her safe. Adrian always thought he was careful about everything. He watched every business deal closely and thought about every problem that might happen. But now he saw that he had failed at the most important job of all, keeping his child safe. He could barely breathe, and for a moment he didn't know if he should yell, run to help, or just fall down. Clara's quiet cry broke the silence and broke Adrian's heart too. In that moment, every business deal, every dollar he made, every time he won in the meeting room meant nothing compared to the tears on his daughter's face. Celine didn't know that Adrian was home. She said mean words that cut through the air like sharp knives. She got angry at Clara for being slow, for dropping food earlier, for just being there and causing trouble. Her face looked angry and frustrated, as if the innocent girl was nothing but a problem. That's when Adrian stepped forward, his voice shaking with anger he was trying to control. The big house, which was usually filled with laughter or the quiet sounds of peaceful evenings, became like a courtroom where the truth came out. Clara saw that her father was there and rushed toward him as fast as she could. Her small arms wrapped tight around his legs. Her body was shaking as she pressed her face against his suit. Adrian bent down and picked her up in his arms, trying to protect her from everything bad in the world. He whispered gentle words to comfort her, even though his chest was burning with sadness and anger. He looked at Celine, and in her eyes he saw no sorry feelings, only fear because she knew she had been caught being cruel. The hours after that were confusing and crazy. Adrian told Celine to leave and demanded that she get out of the house right away. Nothing she could say or do could fix what she had done. Clara needed to be safe, and Adrian promised she would never feel that kind of pain again. But when the house became quiet again, father and daughter sat together on the wide stairs. Sunlight moved across the marble floor, and Adrian felt the heavy weight of his mistakes pressing down on him. He had made the wrong choice not just in getting married, but in thinking that because Clara stayed quiet it meant she was happy. How many times had Clara wanted to tell him what was happening, but stayed quiet because she was afraid no one would listen to her? The guilt ate at him. For many days, Adrian put his business work aside and focused only on Clara. He stayed with her during every meal and listened as she slowly told him how Celine often yelled at her when he wasn't around. She told him how she sometimes didn't get food, and how she was told to hide in her room so visitors wouldn't see her walking sticks. Every word she said was like a knife in his heart, and Adrian cried quietly when Clara wasn't looking. He promised himself that never again would he put money, what other people thought, or what was easy above the gentle heart of his little girl. But getting better wasn't easy. Clara was scared and shy. She didn't laugh as much. Her trust was broken. Adrian got help from doctors who help with feelings, teachers, and kind family friends who surrounded her with love. Slowly, like a flower growing after a cold winter, Clara started to smile again. She painted pictures full of happy colors instead of sad ones. She took steps, even though they were shaky, in the therapy room, with her father's steady hand helping her. And through all of this, Adrian learned something very important. Children don't just need protection from dangers outside the home. They need someone inside the home who will choose to love them every single day. Months went by and Adrian's big house felt full of life again. Not because of expensive things that don't really matter, but because of the warmth of father and daughter becoming closer than ever before. Adrian would often stop during business meetings, look at a picture Clara had made for him, and remember what was really important. His business could fail. His important titles could disappear. But as long as Clara's heart was safe, he would think of himself as the richest man in the world. One summer afternoon, Clara surprised her father. With strong determination in her eyes, she took a few careful steps without leaning heavily on her walking sticks. Adrian's throat felt tight as he watched her walk the short distance to reach him. She looked up at him, her face bright and glowing, and whispered that she wanted to be strong. Not because someone was making her, but because she wanted to walk hand in hand with her father into better days ahead. Adrian got down on his knees, tears falling down his face, and told her she was already the strongest person he had ever known. And so, the story of pain became a story of being strong and never giving up. Clara's courage became like a compass that guided Adrian in the right direction. He started helping charities that work with children who have disabilities. He gave money to centers that help people get better, and he created scholarships in his daughter's name. Every kind thing he did for the world came from the lesson he had learned. Money means nothing without caring about others. Success is empty without love, and a father's job is to protect the light in his child's heart no matter what. If this story has touched your heart, please take a moment to like this video, share it with your friends, and follow Kindness Corner. Your support helps us keep making stories that remind us of the most important human values: love, strength to keep going, and the power to protect innocent people. Before we finish, I'd love for you to leave a special comment below. Write, "Every child deserves love," if you believe no child should ever have to suffer without anyone knowing. Adrian never forgot the day he came home early. What started as a horrible moment became the turning point that changed everything. Through tears, mistakes, and second chances, he and Clara built a life where being kind was not just nice to do, but absolutely necessary. And even though the world saw Adrian Marlowe as a powerful millionaire, Clara knew the real truth. He was, most importantly, a father who chose love over everything else in the world.